All right, Pepe, here we are. This is, it's behaved exactly as we expected. Basically, when we were all the way up here, I was warning you guys that, that 70% drop down to this area of support is the most compelling price range for Pepe to fall down to, and it couldn't have happened better than predicted. And before I talk to you about where I think we're going to go next, this is really important to kind of take a second and understand how we got here. Because otherwise you're not going to understand what might happen next, and that's why I really want to cover this with you in this YouTube video. So if we actually kind of take a second to really digest what's happened here with this chart on Pepe, what we've actually been able to pull off here is an extremely irrationally exuberant rally to the upside, where everyone's just losing their mind, super happy that they're rich. So people are piling in to buy this coin and nobody is selling. And the people that are piling in are doing so because the guy before them made money. And as soon as the allure, as soon as the dream of getting rich off Pepe vanishes, people are no longer interested in buying the coin. All of the buying pressure goes. And number two, in holding the coin. All of the buying pressure goes, and all of the selling pressure that never existed hits the market. And that's why within hours, guys, from our high to our low, that's why we can fall by a third within 1 hour. That's how we're able to produce these kind of moves. It's because of the psychological dilemma that I just outlined for you guys. Now, guys, I want you to throw a huge like on this video if you found my previous videos on Pepe useful, because we were 100% accurate with that analysis. There was also this huge range down to trade that I warned you guys would be available to trade on BingX as well. So shout out to any of you guys who actually made some profits on Pepe, whether you'd made it up or down. That is very cool. BingX is available to trade Pepe, and not only can you trade Pepe, but also stocks, forex, commodities, indices without KYC. No ID pictures, no pictures of yourself. It's a great alternative to other exchanges like Bybit, but Bybit does also have Pepe available to trade. Both of them are linked in the description of this YouTube video, where you can have no KYC and over $5,000 in bonuses with BingX. Or if you do want to trade on Bybit, you can get $30,000 in free money that they give you to trade with. So that is really cool. It's well worth checking them out. And I want to outline for you how I plan on taking advantage of this market. We're now down to the area of support that I said Pepe would be a good buy at, and I still stand by that idea. I still think that Pepe is worth considering to pick up just around here. The reason I'm not going to do it is because we haven't responded with strength to this level. I like to see how we bounce off levels, and so far we actually kind of dipped below it, and now we've recovered a little bit. It's going to be pretty easy to watch how this evolves on the short-term chart, but what I can see already is that volume is massively leaning towards the downside, showing me that we might still have some more downside to come. And with the prospect of Bitcoin potentially dumping, and this is what a lot of people are expecting right now, and I made a YouTube video on that literally just now, so go back and watch that on the main channel if you haven't done so already. If you are watching this Pepe video on the main channel, that means you're watching it late, so make sure you head here for the top link in the description. But with a lot of people expecting Bitcoin to drop, this is the backdrop that Pepe has been crashing in. So if we're going to be looking at something like that, and then Bitcoin losing support, things are probably going to get worse for Pepe. That is a reasonable assumption to make in my experience, because shit coins like this, they perform really badly when the big safe asset is weak, and we might be in one of those situations right now. So I think it's entirely possible that we fall back down to this area of support, which is a further 35% drop, and from our all-time high, and we've already covered this with you in many of my videos on Pepe, this would be an 80% drop to the downside. Now, what this is going to do is, and I actually saw this in the comment section of my recent Pepe videos, is people right now with this in mind are going to start becoming really bearish on Pepe. They're going to sell all of their holdings, they're going to give up on Pepe, and they're no longer going to think that this is going to turn them into a millionaire. But what we need to keep in mind is that Pepe kind of hit the map in a really big way. It did, kind of create some waves in the space a little bit. And so a coin that becomes so well known like this doesn't generally just vanish off the face of the planet. So even though I don't think it's in a particularly strong position, I do still expect that number one, it's not going to die, and number two, it will probably still respond to support level as well. Now, it hasn't responded very well to this support level yet, but it may respond better to the support level a little bit lower than us, especially when we consider that that's pretty much it. If we fall below this low, the next significant area where it makes sense to find support for Pepe is going to be all the way down here. You know, which from this price level just to get here is a 50% drop. The price would have to halve again. To get there from where we are now, it's another 70% drop. We've already suffered a 70% drop just to get here. You know, so dropping down here pretty much wipes Pepe off the face of the planet. A 91% drop. I mean, it's hard to imagine how big that number is in terms of the drop, but let me reverse this for you. If we rise from this price level back up to here, the price would have to more than double. Back up to where we are now, the price would have to pull a 3.5 times gain, 3.6 times gain, just to get back up to the current price level. And up to the all-time high, it would have to pull off a 12 times gain. So it could definitely happen, but we really don't want to see Pepe losing this area of support. It would put Pepe in a very different place. So this is a very logical area to expect some relief from Pepe if we don't get it right here. Now, if we do get relief for Pepe right here, where we are right now, I would expect that to be something that takes Pepe up to its areas of resistance. Okay, so on this chart, the next logical area of resistance is going to be up here. And this is probably the best trade that I'm seeing right now, is waiting for Pepe to get up here, and then I'll probably, you know, try and go short to write it down. It's been confirmed as resistance the first time we ever hit this price level, and then confirmed as support shortly afterwards, and then confirmed as support again for a long time relative to Pepe's very short life history or lifespan so far. You know, it's been confirmed as support for a long time, so naturally I have to expect resistance here if we rise up into this range. If we zoom in a little bit, we'll probably also see that there's some, you know, Ichimoku or something of the sort on some small time frame. So 15-minute doesn't really have anything there, but the 30-minute time frame gives us resistance right there. And the 30-minute time frame has been okay for this Ichimoku cloud so far. Look at the resistance cloud. As soon as it developed into resistance on this 30-minute time frame, we have to go really zoomed in obviously for this chart, but very predictable, clean rejections. So, you know, the idea of getting another one up at this resistance level makes a lot of sense, and that is definitely a position that I'd be interested in trading. And like I said, you've got a lot of options available to you if you do want to trade coins like Pepe. Me personally, I'm going to be making this move either on BingX or Bybit, and both are available with some very, very cool exclusive links to get some huge bonuses, over 5,000 on BingX and up to 30,000 on Bybit. Very, very cool indeed. Pardon me. So resistance here also looking like a really good play, just given where Pepe is right now. And again, the good thing about Pepe is that, you know, these coins, they move so quickly that, you know, you can get a resolution on this kind of trade very, very quickly. So I really do like that. I think that if Pepe falls from here down to here, this is another range that is potentially tradable. It's a really big range, but my only problem is that there's a lot of trading here. So even though I'm not expecting it, there could be some support somewhere here in this range, and that can make going short a little bit messy. That's why, you know, for me, it's nicer to go long from here up to here, or ideally I would want to trade the direction of this move. So, you know, maybe go short from here down to the lows. You know, that allows me to play the direction of the trend, and I can also trade a range which, you know, doesn't really have a lot of price history. The only price history in this range is this, you know, candle right here, this wick, and then what we did just now. You know, that's kind of all we have in this range, which, you know, compared to right here, there's just a lot more going on, so it's a lot more likely that Pepe finds support. That's basically it, and I don't want to see that. You know, I want to see nice, clean, big moves. That, you know, that's where the money is. So for me, it's, you know, potentially some short plays. Also, you know, if Pepe does manage to rally up to here somehow, you know, this would be a phenomenal area. These are both, you know, the only areas of resistance that I see for Pepe in its immediate kind of vicinity right now. But other than that, if we sweep below support, I will be expecting falling down to here. And if we lose this, our final and last area of support, yeah, is going to be down here. So I'm not saying price numbers because they're too hard to say. You're just going to have to zoom in. and read the numbers or pull up the chart yourself. But you know, these are the kind of plays that I think are you know, some potentially pretty clean opportunities for 𝗬𝗢𝗥, and so that's what I'm going to be exploring right there. But you know, it's really nice to see that it's been moving exactly as we've expected. Even though I haven't traded it yet, what that does tell me is it's just even more signs that 𝗬𝗢𝗥 is a really well-behaved coin as far as its chart goes. I mean, obviously this is a chart of a stupid coin that isn't worth paying much serious attention to, and I've said this from the very beginning. It's, you know, not surprising at all that everything I said about how this chart would move is exactly what happened, and it's because I've seen this chart a million times. You know, yes, 𝗬𝗢𝗥 itself is new, but the psychology of these markets and the way people behave when they see, you know, dollar signs everywhere in their eyes is always the same. These things always move in the same way, and that's why it's so easy for me to get behind the camera and very confidently speak to you about, you know, 𝗬𝗢𝗥 falling back down to levels like this. And it's one of those, you know, like when I can speak so confidently about a coin like I can about 𝗬𝗢𝗥, that's when they become really enticing to trade, because I know that they are safe, and I need to put my money in safe places only. So I do really like that, and I'm happy with what I'm seeing with 𝗬𝗢𝗥 right now. So buy level right here, this would be you know, a pretty, you know, I think a good trade to take, definitely for me. Or short up here. This is also definitely along where we are right now. I have to expect some sort of bounce, right? Like at least up to here, for example, just where we consolidated before. From our current level, just to get up there would be a 17% move, right? And I think it's pretty easy to put a stop loss down, you know, like around here, 6% down, maybe 2-3 times leverage, maybe 3 times leverage if I'm feeling a little bit aggressive, and that's, you know, 60%, 50% to the upside. So you know, I'd be having you know, potential, you know, kind of 24% loss and 50% profit. It's a 2-to-1 risk to reward. It's not great. It definitely could be better, and that's why I'm not a huge fan of that idea. For me, the better trade opportunity would be here. You know, a short off this level, I could probably put a stop loss around here. It is a bit wide. Again, I'm not going to use more than 2 or 3 times leverage. Let's say 2x leverage here. You know, to drop down from here back down to this low is a 27% move, so that's 54% profit. You know, with a 20% loss, it's okay. Again, 2.5, you know, 2.5x, close to 3x risk to reward. Now we're getting better, right? Ideally, you want to be trading 3 to 1 or better. You know, so it's getting a little bit better. And by the way, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, it's this tool right here. So this actually, like the middle line would be where my entry is. This would represent my stop loss. So let's say it's about 10% higher, and this would represent my first target. So you know, that gives me a 2.6 risk to reward. Basically every dollar I risk, I stand to gain $2.6. You know, and then down to the next target, it becomes a 5 RR trade there. So a 5 risk reward ratio trade is pretty good. You know, 5 is definitely where you want to be. So, you know, the short looks pretty compelling to me for those reasons. The long, a little bit less so. You know, it's not as perfect. The long off this level as well. This one's a little bit problematic. It's really hard to set a stop loss. You know, I mean, I guess you could, you know, it's really, really hard, but you know, this is the kind of setup that I might be looking at here. This is a 6 risk to reward. So again, really, really good. This is the kind of thing which, again, what I really like about these trade setups with 𝗬𝗢𝗥 is that you can kind of just set the orders and then forget about them, right? Like I could set them right now. I'm not going to. I'm going to wait around a little bit, but I know a lot of people that do just kind of set their orders and then forget about it. And it's a better way to trade in my experience. The reason I'm going to wait is I'm here. Fuck it. Doesn't matter to me. And, you know, I'm not like trigger happy to jump in on this coin. It's, you know, it has to be really good. That's kind of my rule set for trading, and that's what serves me really well. And it's what saves me from losing money ultimately. You know, exchanges want you to trade as much as possible because you pay fees every time you trade, but you know, I need to make money. I don't want to lose my money. So, you know, I need to play things a little bit safer. But there you go. It's a beautiful day outside. So I'm gonna stop sitting here. I'm gonna go outside and wait for 𝗬𝗢𝗥 to do something a little bit more interesting so I can take advantage of it. But there you go. If you have enjoyed this video, you know exactly what to do. Hit up the like, subscribe, click the bell, do all that beautiful stuff. Make sure that you watch this on the altcoin channel if this video has been uploaded to the main channel. And while you are in the description, double check that you've taken advantage of your huge bonuses available on BingX and Bybit if either of them two interest you for these markets. I really hope you have enjoyed this one. Again, double check that you're subscribed and you got the bell icon checked. Super time sensitive content. But with that, I will see you all in the very next video. Cheers.